This is John Angus.
So, John Angus McDonald, we got a new album with the Trues. Tell me a little bit about it.
It's an album that's called Hope and Ruin. Came out yesterday, and it's our fourth studio record. And all I can tell you is we're quite proud of it. And we're happy it's out. I had a great time making it. Now we're just ready to share it with the world.
And you're in the Atlantic provinces of Canada right now.
Right now we are, yes.
So, how far are you bringing this tour?
Well, we're hoping to bring it to most of the parts of the world. We've got releases in Australia and in America and in Europe, and so on previous records we've done tours in all those areas. So we hope to get back to all the said places.
One thing that I find really interesting and actually happy to see is Hope and Ruin is on 12-inch vinyl record, the LPs.
Yeah.
This is incredible. It's a big comeback, isn't it, for vinyls?
Yeah, man. I think that it just sounds better. I know it's like a cliche, but I was living with the CDs and the MP3s for months and months after we recorded them, and then when we got it pressed onto vinyl, get home and listen to it, it was like rediscovering the tunes and the music all over again. And I'm just so thrilled. It's the first time we've pressed vinyl, and like I said, it's our fourth record. And so it made me proud to drop the needle on it. There's something about the way it's remastered and the way that the needle picks up the information off the wax. It just makes it sound so much better than a laser reading it off of a disc.
Would you say that there's a big difference with the CD version and the LP version?
Yeah, I think the LP version sounds better. I mean, they're the same songs and they're in the same order. And it's also nice to have the changing side, too, because it makes you consider the album 6 songs at a time.
Right. Is there any way we're going to see the old catalog of the Trues released on LP also?
It could happen. I mean, I would certainly love to see it happen, but we have no plans just yet.
Is there going to be another single coming out soon for the new album?
We haven't. It's been really doing well up here in Canada. It's been in the top 10 6 or 7 weeks, and so we're just sort of riding it out. But we're in discussion about the next single. We just haven't made any final decisions yet.
And with that, we're going to see a new video, most likely.
If we do yeah, definitely we'll do I'll do a video along with it.
So the recording process of Hope and Ruin, where was this recorded at?
It was recorded in Bath, Ontario, which is a rural part of Ontario, about 20 miles to the east of Kingston, on Lake Ontario, and it's owned by a band called the Tragically Hip, and they're quite legendary Canadian rockers, and we really, grew up listening to them and loving their music. So it was great to cut a record in their space and work with Gordon Sinclair, who co-produced the record. He's the bass player for the Hip. And that was the vibe we fell into. We just had a lot of fun doing it, and we're happy with the result.
So compared to recording the other albums you guys did, is this one a little bit different for you?
Yeah, totally. Our last record in particular was we did it all in isolation of each other. Sort of, we cut the drums and bass in Toronto, and then the producers moved myself and my brother Colin, the singer, down to New York to cut everything else with them. And we did everything as overdubs, basically, and that was, I mean, it's got its advantages, for sure, in the sonic realm, but we loved getting back together and cutting live all in the same room again, which is what we did at Bath. And I think one of the greatest strengths we have on our side is our live performance, and it's something we've done so many shows and been together so many years that it's just something that's come sort of naturally to us, and to capture that on tape, I think is the most important thing at this stage in the game, and I feel like we did it on the Hope and Ruin.
It's starting too that a lot of people are doing it again, live feeling on an album instead of being isolated. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, it's about the transfer of emotion, and the less things you put in the way of that, the less technology you use to get in the way of that process, the more effective it's going to be, is the way I really feel about it. I mean, everybody's favorite recordings from the late 60s, early 70s are, the ones that mean so much to them are riddled with mistakes and quagmires and little sonic anomalies that most producers would never allow to get through these days. but it doesn't make any difference. You still love the song, you know. It's just more about a transfer of emotion, you know.
That's a good point, and you know, back then the mistakes ended up, you know, being part of the song.
Exactly. You fall in love with the charm, with the characteristics of it all, you know. We've got plans to have it out in multiple different countries and territories, so we're hoping that it'll bridge a whole new gap for us, because we've been rolling up here in Canada on a pretty steady and successful pace for 10 years almost. So the plan is to sort of break down more borders, you know, and sort of bring this music to other people in different countries.
Well, this is excellent, and wish you luck in the little Canadian tour. And in June, I see that you're playing, you know, again, and going to the States for a few dates.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on your show, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Well, you have a good one there.
Thank you very much.